Final Fantasy. No matter how old you are, you've played some version of Final Fantasy at some point in time in your life. If you haven't played it before, you probably know somebody that does. Whether it's the correct way of playing it, where it's turn by turn instead of that stupid hack and slash. Everyone knows about this game. This game has everything. From using magic, from using that 5-figure discount to steal magic from your enemies, using weapons that you'll never use unless you're really into kinky stuff. Hell, you can even summon Death himself and use him against your enemies. But the topic I wanted to talk about today is the summon aspect of this game. Guardian Forces, otherwise known as GFs, are an intricate part of this game. I only ever played Final Fantasy 3, 7, and 8 and stopped after the stupidity and nightmare of playing the bitchy Titus, however you want to call his name, he's stupid. But the GFs have more than the use of doing just physical damage or benefiting you in your own defense systems. They have abilities that have come to help me as time progresses throughout the game. They have enhancements that benefit you, and you can also increase the power for most of your GFs. So here are my top 10 Guardian Forces from Final Fantasy VIII, and before we go any further, I just wanted to state that this is my personal opinion. I understand that we can all go to jail now because someone's opinion is different to yours. If you come to watch and are generally interested in my top 10 about this, that's great. Because I haven't been around on YouTube for a while, and I thought, well, I've been playing Final Fantasy for quite a bit. I thought I'd make a video of it, and decided to do a top 10. But if you're here to tell me that Chocobo is your favorite because he's cute and he's better than everybody else because he's a little birdie, just don't be a dick. Don't tell me when I'm wrong, if it's my opinion. Just enjoy the video. And hey, if you want to complain about me having a different opinion to you, you're the one who clicked on here. So, without further ado, here are my top 10 picks for the top 10 GFs for Final Fantasy VIII. You know, Eden really should be higher on this list. Easily the longest summon interaction. You can make it to the maximum boost count of 250 multiple times. I've personally made it to 250 and deliberately gone back to 75 so that I have something to do to fill in the time. I think it's like a minute and a half in total. And you can get to 250 pretty quickly. If you got... But Eden really only makes it onto my list as number 10 because of one main reason. You've got to make your way through the research center and through a gauntlet of difficult monsters, and then you got to do that whole power switchy thing where you got to have the right amount that I won't get into because that's not something that I really remember. And then once you go down towards getting Eden, you've got to face a barrage of different monsters that you can't run away from. Encounter None doesn't work. They're easy if you have an aura on Lionheart's score, or if he's just at low health and you're quick and you never have a base strike first. But otherwise you'll either be here forever or you'll start hating it and just say screw it. You can get Eden later when you can draw him from Tiamat. He pretty much looks like a big dragon with like lava highlights. But if you want to keep going towards getting Eden as soon as you get the Ragnarok, you got to go down the bottom and then you got to fight Ultima Weapon, draw Eden from it, and then kick its ass. Easiest way to do that is using a 5-step system. And just ignore that. Draw Eden, cast Triple, cast Aura, use Holy War or Hero, depending on who you want to use it on. And then just limit break that son of a gun. You don't get as much time as, let's say, Ifrit using Eden, because after you get the Ragnarok and you continue with the story, there's not much more of a story left before you get to Disc 4, and that is almost solely based around Ultimecia. And that's the reason why Eden is so far down this list. Should be higher, and it's not, just because I didn't really use her as much. Moving on. This GF is in most people's cases, was the very first summon power. Also counting as the first GF numerically, it's Quetzalcoatl. I used to call him Quetzalcoatl. I started calling him Quetzalcoatl because of the dinosaur he's named after. That's not important. Not only does Quetzalcoatl make a big difference in the beginning if you play the game the way I did, the way I understand it as an adult instead of a kid, where it's just fight, fight, fight. I got 3 abilities first off, in this order, from Quetzalcoatl: Boost, Card, and Card Mod. This means that I can boost the birdie, card the monsters if I wanted to, which makes card games easier in the beginning because playing cards suck if you don't understand the rules and if you don't have good cards. And Card Mod is how I had a shitload of HP at the beginning of the game, because one of the few cards you get quite often in the beginning is a Jesper card. Jesper or Jesper, I'm not sure. But it makes a black hole item when you refine it in the Card Mod, which when refined with a time and space magic ability, makes, I think it's 20, it might be 40 damage. Very useful magic in junction selection. You're able to play with this GF as soon as you get to fight in Disc 3. Alexander is a living, breathing caster with weapons from God. I say weapons from the Almighty because he has the Holy Elemental type. I didn't use Alexander as much as I used to back in the day for the power, but definitely for the abilities. Alexander has 3 abilities that changed the way I played the game when I understood how it worked. They are High Magic Level Up, Refine Medicine, and Refine Medicine Plus. I think it's also called High Medicine Refine, I'm not sure. It's the easiest way to make medicine from items if you're running out of magic, and I particularly hate Malbros, and every now and again you can't use the magic, you gotta use the item, and it's a bitch. But on top of refining good medicines, there's another reason for that. Remedies can be refined to remedy pluses using the high level refine, because there's an unlockable that comes with this ability, but we'll get more into that later. I have got 2 brothers. I'm the middle brother. I've got an older brother and a younger brother. And I've had this problem with my brothers all the time. We usually never decide who has the short straw in any other way. My younger brother knows what I'm talking about. My older brother not so much, because he's the older one. They normally get to make those decisions. The game we used to play to decide who has the short straw was rock, paper, scissors. That is what the brothers, Sacred, and Minotaur do as well. The summon ability of Brotherly Love is helpful in the beginning because it's quite a powerful move, and it's also rock based, so like the Quake move is very, very helpful. Once you progress through the game and Minotaur's card is no longer of any use in the gaming aspect of it, you can use the card mod mentioned before from Quetzalcoatl and refine him into 10 adamantines, which help for weapons for Squall, Zelt, and I think Irvine. I might be wrong. I think it might just be for Selfie instead. People are going to kill me because I don't know. Also, if you try drawing shitloads of protects and shells from Sacred and Minotaur when you fight them, it'll help you when you fight Cypher and Edia on both occasions in Disc 1 and Disc 2. physical and magical resistance. If you're like me, and you miss the screen because you are either enjoying this game too much to notice the little details like the Weapons Monthly first issue on the floor of Dr. Watts' name in Estar City, you'd be kicking yourself. I know I did. You've missed the chance to get Lionheart along with 3 other high damage weapons, but Lionheart in particular, it is the keys to the kingdom if you wanted to beat Ultimisia without having too much difficulty. But what would happen if I told you all is not lost? I found out, I stumbled across this, that there is another way to get that magazine. In Estar City, you can purchase Weapons Monthly magazines from the local bookstore, but the first issue isn't in there. But if you have the ability Familiar, it lets you buy more rare items, and this magazine counts as it. The other books are like 15,000 bucks, this one's 50,000 bucks. That ability is learned from the itty bitty Tonberry. Now, in order to get Tonberry as a summon, you have to beat a certain number of Tonberries, which you can do once the Seed Garden becomes mobile. Kill enough of their brethren, and then the Tonberry King shows up. And then you gotta beat his ass as well. Easiest way to kill Tonberries? Just Diablo his ass until he dies. 4 times should do it. But Tonberry King is a different story. Demi misses. Diablo misses. So gravity doesn't work in your favor in this instance, so you've got to protect, shell, aura, or if it's this early you've got to use aura stones because not a lot of aura magic is around. And then just Renzo Kukin and just hope to God he doesn't kill you. Anything you can do to minimize damage because he is a difficult boss this early into the second day. Now, for those feminists out there, don't hate the fact that out of 10 there's only 3 female selections in here. But of 16 summonable GFs, only 3 are women? I mean, we're not left with much of a choice, and it's not Siren. It's Shiva. Shiva is higher on this list than the other OG GF, Quetzalcoatl, mainly because she's a lot more useful early in the game when you get stuck. It's when you're in the training center of the Balam Garden and you happen to run into Grats and stuff, Shiva's more powerful than Quetzalcoatl. But when you run into a T-Rexor, that's when Shiva comes in handy. For those who say logic isn't in games, I'll give you an example. When an animal gets stuck in ice and then it freezes over, it usually dies. So, yeah. Shiva also comes in handy as the key element to acquire Ifrit as a summon as well, because ice is good against fire apparently. So, yeah. As mentioned for acquiring Tonberry, Diablo, the devil himself, is one of the few summons that don't have a boost ability. And I didn't understand how he worked when I was younger. I always felt that he was a lot less powerful than the others because I didn't understand the math and understanding that goes into it. When I was older, and for those of you who are yelling at your screen thinking I'm an idiot, for those of you who still don't understand, I'll explain as easiest as I can. I found out that when I was about 13 or 14 when I played it again, that Diablo deals 25% of the target's max HP. Not remaining, like Demi, but max. As long as he hits them, like Tonberry King, misses, not helpful. I'll give you an example. We'll use Tonberry in this instance. If the max HP is 15,800, then every time Diablo deals damage, it'll deal 3,950 points of damage. A lot more than that, because Tonberry's got a lot more health than that. You could use Demi at the beginning, and you'll deal the exact same damage. But like I said before, Demi deals 25% of the remaining HP. That means the more you use Demi, the less damage it does over time. You'll never, ever kill anybody using Demi. When you fight Diablo, he is a tough boss. To get him, you have to use the magical lamp and face the devil himself after you beat Elveret, when you acquire Siren, when you do your first mission. Headmaster Sid gives you the lamp and says that you can, he thinks that you could make use of it, but you gotta save before you do it because he's tough. He uses Demi all the time, which always takes it down by a quarter of your remaining health, with occasional physical damage. Fighting him is a bitch. But if you're low on health, because he also uses a move called Gravija, which deals 75% of the remaining HP, if you ever get stuck, try casting Demi on him. Not only will it take off a quarter of his remaining HP, but he'll cast Curaga on you, because, you know, why not? Also, when you get him, the first thing I got, and the first thing I recommend you getting, is Mug. Mug is an ability that you can unlock that helps get rarer items than you normally would, which helps a lot with getting weapons or tools. I'll give you an example. Triface, when you beat them, I think you get like magical stones of some sort, but if you mug them, you get curse spikes, and that is helpful for unlocking one of Quistis' most powerful moves. I'm a big fan of mythical beings, one of which is better than this being. The self-proclaimed most powerful GF is one of the last ones you can obtain in the game. You'll need Ragnarok, you can have Lionheart at this time, which helps a lot, and he's found in the corner of the earth. This is, of course, Bahamut. Bahamut, however you want to say it, I say it Bahamut. Dragon twice the size of either the blue or red dragons. He is one of two that is depicted that can fly, the other one being Tiamat. For the personal guard of two ruby dragons, not red, my bad, getting to him is more annoying than actually fighting him, because you got to get through them first, and I hated doing that. In order to get him, go to the research center located at the bottom left hand corner of the map. He's in what looks like a healing chamber from Dragon Ball Z, and every time the light flashes and you move, you gotta fight a bunch of dudes. No getting around that. You just gotta wait and move when the light's not glowing. You could use this as a chance to grind your levels up. That's your decision. I didn't do that. I want a Bahamut and to GTF out there. I personally love the way that this summon comes in. I used to look out at the lights towards Auckland City and joke that he's making his way to us because the lights start to resemble the track that Doom Train uses to attack. He's also one of two GFs that can induce status ailments. Siren can cause silence, but that's it. Doom Train is different. Doom Train can cause silence, poisoning, blind, darkness, and every now and again he can cause pain. You can get Doom Train from the Solomon Ring, where you can find before heading off to space to retrieve the Ragnarok. If you didn't, you can still go back and get it. Visit a place called Tears Point, find the Solomon Ring, and you'll need 18 items. 6 Meldro tentacles, 6 remedy pluses made from refining 60 remedies, and 6 steel pipes. This is where Mug, Higher Medicine Refine, and Card Mod come in handy. They help you get Doom Train, and you can also unlock a junk shop, which can call a weapons upgrade shop anywhere in the world instead of having to find them. Before we name my top choice, let's go over some honorable mentions, then revise the choices so far, yeah? Tied together because they are all useful in their own unique way, and in one case just really funny and really looking. Cerberus with his double and triple for the whole party, Carbuncle for his reflect against magic, and Cactar for being a walking cactus that's just gold. But I didn't use them that much, especially not Cactar because you get them so later in the game. Carbuncle you draw from the Iguions right before you face Idiot in Disc 1, or if you miss that, you can draw it from, I think, Chrysler in Disc 4 in Ultimecia's Castle. You can't miss Cerberus, and it's an option to get Cactar. You gotta go to Cactar Island. He's the disappearing green thingy. Also, one of 2 passive GFs, Odin, makes this list above Gilgamesh. One reason: Odin never misses. When Zantetsuken hits, Odin just cuts the dude in half. But when Gilgamesh comes in, there's every chance that he can miss. I've had that with Ruby Dragons on the island closest to hell. Odin was more helpful. Now to revise. Number 10, Eden with her eternal breath. Number 9, Quetzalcoatl with his thunderstorm. Number 8, Alexander with his holy judgment. Number 7, brothers with their brotherly love. Number 6, Tonberry with his chef's knife. Number 5, Shiva with her diamond dust. Number 4, Diablo with his dark messenger. Number 3, Bahamut with his mega flare. And at number 2, Doom Train with his runaway train. Like I said before, I'm a big fan of mythical beings, and dragons are number 2, with only one being ahead of them. That being also shares the same name with the GF in the summon list here, Leviathan. I am incredibly biased, I know, when it comes to anything based with water. I have everything to do with water. Pokemon starters, always the water type. Superpower, breathe underwater. Favorite non-alcoholic drink, water. I'm gonna get shot for that. Favorite DC superhero, Aquaman, before he was replaced with Khal Drogo. Favorite animal, great hammerhead shark. The list goes on, but you'll get bored before I finish. Leviathan is everything I wanted in a Guardian Force. The ability to bring a cliff up with you, explode with a tsunami, which is what his attack is called, and crash down on whatever is below. One of the best things that I like about this move is those little details. The fact that when Leviathan kills an enemy, they get washed away with the tsunami. It's the little details that make all the difference. Leviathan makes it to the top because of those tiny details, and it's a freaking Leviathan that explodes into Mother Nature's personal landscaping tool. I'm geeking right now, I get it. I just love Leviathan. Love Leviathan! That is my top 10 Guardian Force summons in Final Fantasy VIII. If you agree, it's awesome. If you don't, it's fine. I'd love to hear what other people's top 10 choices are. Leave them in the comment section down below. Jab that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you want to hear more of me mouthing off about other stuff that's suggested by people that's supposed to make it laugh, make it interested, or maybe even possibly learn something. Who knows? Might happen. Probably not. Cheers guys, and we'll catch you in the next video.